liberally conservative or conservatively liberal?
This isn't you.
Probably depends on how much Nicorette he's chewed.
Yeah, I know.
From Fox News, the immensely entertaining Tucker Carlson is on the line.
What's up, Tuck? I haven't heard from you. God, what, maybe since November, maybe?
Bubba, I realized yesterday I haven't had a meal in 5 days other than peanuts out of my bag.
What do you mean? What are you doing? Are you in jail? What's going on?
I've been launching this site, the Daily Caller.
TheDailyCaller.com. We've actually been talking about it all day, telling all the Bubba Army to go to the Daily Caller and get some of their news there, and then email Tucker on the contact section and say, Bubba Army, Bubba Army.
That's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
The one thing I know about the Bubba Army, because I meet them a lot, is that they actually act on your suggestions.
Yeah, they do. I'm a 6-star general in the Army, and they do. No, seriously, we've now come up with this new rank and file system, and I'm a 6-star general. Ned said there is no such thing, and I go, well, bitch, the Bubba Army is really no such thing. So screw you.
You got your own ranks in the Bubba Army. That's exactly. Right. You're both Pope and Field Marshal. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. I do it all. I'm the kind of guy in the Bubba Army that not only am I the president and the chief executive, whatever the hell it's called, but I actually would be the guy that would want to hit the trigger on the bomb, and I would want to fly the plane that dropped the bomb on the country as well. That's how I roll, kid.
That is fantastic.
So
have you declared war on anyone?
Well, some stupid-ass radio personalities here and there, like that MJ guy, that MJ character who is, suing me for defamation of character and slander and libel, and that whole boondoggle. You know how it goes.
That guy's the worst.
I actually go to court tomorrow at 9:30 on Clear Channel is suing me as well. For numerous things, because I'm like that fat girl in ninth grade that you broke up with, but you don't want anybody else to date, So Clear Channel fired me, and I wasn't good enough to make the cut, but God forbid that I rebound and, become a viable product somewhere else.
That is so disgusting. That's so awful. Why not just help, encourage you to succeed. Everyone knows you're a veteran of Clear Channel. It helps them in the long run. Why fight you? Why? You know what I mean?
Well, because Hadley, it's the definition of a. Brent has said this is the definition of a slap suit. Brent, isn't that right?
That's definitely a slap suit. Misuse of the legal system.
They just, they've cost me now nearly $500,000 between the two, and that's nothing to them. And they want to just keep me down so that I'll give up.
See, I've had a lot of different offices with people who leave to go do other things, and my attitude is always the same, which is, I don't want you to leave, I really like you, but I want you to go on and succeed, because that adds to my success. You're a veteran of my office, and I can always point to you and say, that person worked for me,
Spice, tell Tim on line 3, I'd love to talk to him, not to go anywhere, okay? Spice, if you could, please. Hey, now, Tucker, what about the new addition by your sister, or by the place that you work on TV, that's Fox, signing up Sarah Palin? Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
Actually, I don't know anything about it. Obviously I'm taking a pass because there's literally no chance I'm going to criticize Fox News ever in any way, because I love them, and Roger Ailes has been so nice to me that I will always worship at his altar, and I mean that with total sincerity. But
well, what an ass kisser.
Even if we weren't on the radio and we were just sitting around, I would tell you the honest truth, which is I have not seen Sarah Palin on the air. I hope she does a good job. I have no idea. I've been so wrapped around my own axle, man. I have no idea what's happening.
Well, wrapped around your own axle, that's a little bit of technical man talk there. Most guys wouldn't know what that meant. Wrapped around your own axle.
Yeah, I'm wrapped around my rear diff.
Now let me ask you.
My rear differential.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the Harry Reid deal? Of course, I have it here. It's very long-winded. It's 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Maybe you can give us the explanation as to what happened, and for the fine listeners out there that don't pay attention like me. And then I like to get Tucker's 2 cents.
Well, in the book that's come out that's said a lot of things that happened in the 2008 campaign, Harry Reid said that Obama's a viable candidate because he's light-skinned and he doesn't speak with a Negro dialect.
Right.
Which, now, if you hold Democrats to their own standard, that's racist. Not that I have a problem with it, but if you hold them to their standard, it's a racist thing to say.
So what's your opinion on it, Tuck?
I think that Harry Reid is a pathetic, angry old guy and a bad senator, and he's going to lose. However, I think the point, and he's a total hypocrite, of course, and a race baiter.
Aren't they all? But aren't they all? I mean, that's
the Democrats tend to. I mean, look, whenever they get in trouble, they just cry racism. and it gets black voters out to the polls. It's an awful thing to do, but they consistently do it. I will say in Harry Reid's defense, sort of, that what he said is arguably true.
Yeah, it is true.
And I think you ought to be allowed to say things that you think are true. And I mean, I don't Negro dialect. I don't know what the hell that is. I think that's a weird thing to say. But the fact that Obama speaks in a mainstream way and is eloquent, I think it had a lot to do with him getting elected president.
You can't handle the truth.
That's the problem with people in general. When a politician speaks,
You can't handle the truth.
they can't handle the truth. I mean, the bottom line is this, okay? Without being racial or without anything like that, is that Obama comes across very non-ethnic. Would that be the Brent? Would that be the politically correct way to say it, right?
Yeah, you could say that, or you could say, he speaks in a very proper professorial way.
Yeah, and I mean, and he is light-skinned. We can all agree on that, and probably what he's saying is somewhat truthful, but nobody can handle it.
But the thing is,
you're right. You're totally right. And by the way, it's not that offensive. It's a majority white country. And it's not a country that's going to elect Al Sharpton or someone who reminds them of Al Sharpton. That doesn't mean they're racist. I don't think it is a racist country. I really don't think it is.
But what I'm saying is, if you hold Harry Reid to his own standard, it's a racist thing to say.
Oh, you mean by
yeah, but Harry Reid's a total hypocrite and an idiot. I mean, and anybody who runs around telling people they're racist all the time is not a serious person. I'm not holding him to his own standards. I'm holding him to what I think are the correct standards.
But I mean, like the Trent
people ought to say what they think is true.
Like the Trent Lott thing, and this thing is totally different. Trent Lott was saying, if Strom Thurmond had been elected, things would have been different because Strom Thurmond was a racist, and he was a part of the separatist segregation party. That's a whole different thing than supporting a black candidate and saying, well, he can get elected because he's light-skinned.
Yeah, but even with Trent Lott, I mean, do you really think Trent Lott on camera was saying, I wish we had segregation in this country? Of course he wasn't saying that. That's totally silly. He was just flattering in the way that senators do one of his colleagues. He said something stupid, but he wasn't calling for segregation. I mean, the whole thing, we're so uptight on this subject, people should just take a deep breath.
We're just uptight in
general. Give others the benefit of the doubt.
We're just uptight in general, man. We're a bunch of uptight jackasses that want to be, there's big money to be a victim and or a martyr in this country, and I don't know where we've gone awry, but if you can prove to be a victim or a martyr, then, people are going to feel sorry for you, and there's probably some dollar amounts or some type of gain.
Well, you're exactly right, and that's something that actually, Tucker, on your website, you wrote a great piece about Al Sharpton, and basically you said in the article what you say on the air with us all the time, which is, hey, I like Sharpton as a guy, but, what makes him the moral authority on what's racist and what's not? And it's a great piece, and it takes you back to when Sharpton, like, for instance, his drug case back in the day. For some reason, a lot of people have forgotten about that. And to me, that's not something I can just forget about and let Sharpton get a pass on. I don't know about you, Tucker.
Well, Tucker lets it go all the time. Tucker never.
Well, I mean, I let it go in the sense that I think Sharpton is a great guy to hang out with. I think he's really interesting. I think he's smart. But I think he's a deeply flawed person.
Well, why don't you ever say that to his face? I mean, he makes.
I always do say that to his face. But when you're with him, you don't need to really say that because
on TV. Why don't you say that? Why don't you say that on TV?
Well, because I need to suck up to Al Sharpton as much as I can.
So I'd feel better if you just say, hey, listen, the bottom line is I need content because, I don't listen to guys who know about content, which is Bubba the Boys. So I need to pander to this guy. I need to pander to this jackass because he occasionally will, be some decent content for me because I'm not a very good guy when it comes to understanding what's funny and not funny. I'm just, I'm one way.
Well, Tuck.
No, that's not why, though. The reason I let him go on and on without challenging him is I just agree with his anti-white rhetoric.
Now, do you think, Tuck, that deep down Sharpton really believes in his cause, or deep down do you think Sharpton knows
that
he's shaking people down professionally?